Hello and welcome to my channel again. In the last video we basically explained why we had to change this over. In this one I'm going to start on the splits. Okay, so how this is going to work is this one here is going to populate the cards, as in where here just adds the cards to the array, and then here sort of classifies it as, okay, you've got 21 and you need to stick, or you need to hit for another card, or you need to split the cards. Okay, so this sort of classifies it. Okay, classifies hands. Okay, we need something to perform splits. And this is what this will do. Okay, so there it is. So we just have to create a function. Okay, so what I need to do with this is I need to get my cards out of it. And I need split count. I'm going to use the destructor. This start. So I'm getting it out of my cards. And then I'm going to copy and paste some things in because they're your standard things. I haven't got IntelliSense to help me, so I'm going to just copy and paste. So I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to loop through the cards. I have to loop through them, so I'm going to do that. Then to make it easier for me to see, I'm going to make the first line be that. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, in here, this first loop, that's going to find out what work has got to be done, and the second loop is going to do the splits. So I'm going to do a variable called let's new so I'm going to do that, and then what I'm going to do is when that finishes, it will work out the split count. So I can just set the split count here, this dot equals okay. This is just this is just sort of no-brainer things. And then I'm going to do a loop. I'm going to loop over new splits after that. And again, I'm going to put that same line in to make it easy for myself. Okay, so this is just boilerplate code in a way. So what it is, this one here, is going to work out what needs to be split and probably do some of it. This will work out the count and put it back to this variable. So that will have the split count. And this one here will actually do the splits. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let me go up here. Find it. So the object would look like this, and some of them will be empty like this. So we have to cater for that. We have to sort of make sure that we cater for that. Okay. So how we do that is we check if it's got the property cards. If I'm gonna have to do some pasting and copy it here. If has item if it's equal to false, okay, this is my cards. If has item card equal to false, okay, if any of them are, if it hasn't got cards, that means the rest of them haven't got cards. Okay, as soon as we come to one that hasn't, okay, because how we fill them in. If we come to here and this hasn't got cards on it, the property cards, that means the rest of them haven't got it, so we don't have to do anything else. So what we do is we break out of the loop. So what that would do is it will say from here it will just break, and then it will just, that will go to infinity, and then it will just stop and come here. Okay. Now other action we have to think about is when we give the, this would always follow populate cards. If I come here, let me just minimize that. We populate the cards first, and then we do this. So we already know when we populate cards, when we give the person the first card, he hasn't got the property, he hasn't got action on it. There isn't any action for it. So what it's going to do, it will come here and it will break. When it comes to here, it's going to say, okay, you haven't got action. So what we want to do is, if anything hasn't got action on, we need to skip it and go to the next one. I don't think we can break. I think we have to skip it. Okay. But what I could do is, the good thing about this is, if I'm going to copy and paste this in, I can run 100 million trials, and then I can say that I can work out whether you can skip or break. Okay. So what I could do is I could set it to break. I can set it to continue and do 100 million trials, set it to break. And if I get the same result, then I can just break here. But I think you need to continue here, because if it hasn't got action, there may be another one further down with action on it. It doesn't mean that, I don't think it means all of them. Like this one, I know that you have to break. Where this one is certain. Okay, so the next line is, I want to, all the objects that I'm only interested in ones which has got P on it, because this is a split. This is for split cards, and P is split. So I'm not really interested in anything else. So before I do any other filters, item dot action, and this, when it gets here, it's definitely got an action on it. If it equals to P, then we can do something with it. Okay. So we're only going to capture ones with P. Everything else is just gonna, it's not a split, so we're not going to do anything to it. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to see the split count. So from here, I'm going to do another if. I'm going to do a nested if. And the reason I'm doing a nested if is I want to make sure I capture. I want to make sure I don't make a mistake. Like if I've done if action equals p and the split count more than 4, else I might miss something. This way I'm not going to miss anything because I'm going to do the split count more than 4. You do that, else you do that. Okay, and for the time being, I'm going to set this to 40. That means he's not going to do anything because we're going to use 8 decks. And if I was saying 8s, for example, there isn't enough 8s in the deck to cause us to split 40 times. So that 40 may as well be infinity. Okay, so for now I'm going to do nothing. I'll just put it in there. If I'm going to do something, but I'm not going to do much. In fact, what I'm going to do is item dot action equals. So what we have to do is, in fact, okay, I'll finish this one off first and then I'll talk about that. Okay. So here we're going to perform a split. How are we going to do it? Okay, this is how we're going to do it. We've got 2 8s here. Let me just delete this. So we got this with 2 8s and the thing will say split. So what we do is we change that into that, and then we say to ourselves, which is the first empty one? That's the first empty one. So we just add, basically we add this there. And we increment the split count, which isn't that. We just do that. And then that's the split. Okay, so it's to do that in code. So let card equals item dot. So it's just going to be the first card, because every time when you split, you've always got 2 cards. So all of these hands will have, everything that comes in here will have 2 cards. Like item equal item card 0. So now we're going to overwrite the card's value. Because just imagine this would have been 8-8. The cards would have been 8-8 and then would have said split, and then we would have came here. We take the first card, which is an 8, and then we push it into array so that we get rid of all the 8s. Okay. So this is a hand that's got this is a hand that's got 1-8. And for consistency, what we have to do is in fact, it actually won't work if we don't do this. When we take the first card, in populate hands, someone gets 1 card, it comes here, it adds that property, and if the card length is less than 1, it continues. So if we don't follow that pattern, we're gonna have some cards without after that method, I can't remember its name. After split hands, after that method runs, we're gonna be stuck with some cards which are different than other cards. Like they won't have doubled on them and they won't have split on them. Okay. and they won't have action on them. So we have to put them on, or else we're gonna have different cards. It's like having we want a bag full of apples. We don't want apples and oranges. Okay. So oh no, that's what I was going. Is it here? Okay. That looks like it's here. So we're gonna have to set an action item dot. So we can set this. So we want another card because we only got one card, so we need another card. So H means another card. Hit. We need to know which card was split. Now if it's a pair of 8s, this will tell us that it's a pair of 8s. So I'm going to do item dot SPL split equal card set card, and now we can increment the split count. Okay, we've just done a split, so you increment the split count, and then we haven't actually done the split. However, we need to store the split. So this would tell us that we need to create, if it was pair of 8s, we push 8 into this new split. So in the other one, it would tell us that we need to create an 8 value. Okay. So that will have the split count. You come to here, and then it will increment that. Okay. And that's the first part of it. The second part of it is when we've done half the split. We just have to do the other half. So we've done this part here, we split that part, and we have to do this part, okay? And what we'll do is, we'll do it in the other video. So I'm going to stop the video now. Thanks for watching my video. Until next time, bye.